Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the stream. I'm Robert from the El Magnifico Games channel and today we are continuing with our playthrough of Quern. Now at the end of last stream we managed to make it to an underground area which has since been revealed to also be underwater. We appear to be reaching towards the end of the game so far as I can tell. And I think I need to remind myself what we were actually doing just before we where we were when we left off. Right, that's D. So D presumably gives us access to the other side of this area. I remember we were manipulating these. I see. We were manipulating these green crystal lasers in an effort to control where we ended up when we teleport. Hello Foa, it's lovely to see you again. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good day. Right, so D presumably transports us to the other side. We're at B now. That's C. Oh, that's interesting. I seem to remember I repeatedly set up, I say repeatedly, on several occasions I tried to get the transportation to, I think it was one of E or D working and it just didn't work. I presume it's because of this rope and piece of metal in the way. So we presumably have to deal with that somehow. What I can't quite work out is what is the utility in going to E? So this is D. Oh, I see. I get it. Yeah, I don't know why that took me so long, so... Oh, no, I don't. No, I take it back. No, it was as I first thought. So it looks like D should take us over there. So where's E? Oh, that's E. Ah. Okay. Maybe that cuts the rope. I'd be a little concerned. No, I'll tell you what it is. We're probably supposed to use the heat stone to burn the rope. And for that to work, we need to set everything up so that the beam can travel all the way to E. Okay, and then that will cause a route to D to become available, and then we get to the other side. So I think that's the situation, so far as I can tell, anyway. Trying to think, how do we get a signal there? Ah, okay, then there's probably two parallel sets of tunnels, one above the other. Or sets of pipes. So I'm guessing I, as the player, am probably never supposed to travel through here. But because they use the same... because whatever pipes or tunnels are transmitting, the beam travels through, because they use the same junctions, I presumably can only ever have it set up either to transfer the heat beam here to cut the rope, or for myself, the character, to travel through it using the green crystal. Right, this is starting to make a lot more sense now. So if I go over here, okay, there isn't another set of there isn't another set of pipes over here. That must be because, depending upon which route the beam takes through the junctions, that will also change its elevation. It's not immediately obvious from this diagram that these pipes aren't at the same elevation. We can see their displacement in a plane, a horizontal plane, but we can't see elevation up or down. Okay then, I think I get it. So this one isn't labelled. That's slightly odd. So that's E, that's D. That all makes sense. This is B. So where is C? Because logically I'd expect this to be C. That's strange. Where we are right now seems to be labelled as C, even though that's clearly B. Perhaps I'm misinterpreting what I'm looking at, but I'm getting the impression that they deliberately haven't labelled everything precisely in this room, probably to force the players to be more observant in other areas like here and put the pieces together. Okay, if that's right, then... oh, that makes sense, I think. Does it? Does it make sense? What I'm now thinking is, supposing I did want to travel here and then over there, how would I do it? I suppose... so I think the order of operations here is I first of all need to adjust all these junctions so that a beam coming from C would come out at E. Then I think I need to go back, change all the junctions so that instead the beam would go to... because currently it's set up to go to B, that is this set of junctions. If we call this corridor alpha and this corridor beta, I think the first thing I need to do is change corridor beta such that a beam coming from C would go to E. Then I need to go back the other way, back through back through the green crystal, and change corridor alpha so that any beam will not come out at this point, but instead this point, which I speculate to be C. Oh, it says C there. Oh, B and C. That confirms it. So, okay, I take back what I said before about things not being clearly labelled. It was purely a problem of my not paying enough attention. Okay, yeah, so this then comes out as C. And then if I set up the... Because I've already set up corridor B appropriately, I should be able to get the heat beam to come through here and burn through the rope. Then I would still be on that side at that moment. So I would then have to... I just have to trust that it's worked, since I wouldn't be able to see all that way. I'd then have to change corridor alpha again, so that now it is going to be, come over here, change corridor beta, so that instead a signal coming from C would go to D, as no, it's not I don't know which way it's configured right now, but I'd have to set it up so that happens, and then I'd have to go back again and then set up corridor alpha again to go to C, and then I should be able to traverse all my way through here. Okay, I think that's what needs to happen. So first things first, C to E. What's that path going to look like? So if we come up this way, I think to figure this out, I need to do it backwards. I need to start at the end, because the problem is, if I start from the beginning, I have no way of knowing whether I want to go straight here or if I want to go up. But if I'm thinking about it from the end, I know I need to go up in this direction, and it'll give me the chance to see what shape the junction is there, which isn't shown on this diagram. So I've got a copy of that diagram in my physical notes in front of me. Okay, that makes things more complicated. We'll worry about that shortly. But first things first. So that will cause us to come out, or that will cause a beam to come out there, which is what we want. So where's that going to come up? That's going to... Oh no, wait, I want it the way it was, I think. So looking at the diagram, it goes down, then it does a right angle and comes up at this angle. But neither of those work for us. That is to say that with it being a straight line junction, it would have had nowhere to go. So it needs to be a right angle junction. That works. Then here, it does another right angle, so we come out at the bottom diagonal again. This time there is a way this way, I think? Yes. And then we come back from the top, so we need this adjusted. Right, I think that's set up. So that's the diagram again. I believe we come in this way, we go straight up, we come round, we come down this way, then we come up this way, back down, come up this way, there. So I think that's set up. I think we've set up corridor beta such that a signal coming from C will end up at E. Let me just absolutely double check it is E we're looking for. Yes. Right, I think that's all done. So now I go back this way. Do I have a copy of the other diagram in my physical notes? You know, I thought I did, but I'm not seeing it. Huh. Maybe I didn't. So right, we need this to come out at C. So again, working backwards. I think I will make a copy of this in my physical notes. It's funny, I could have sworn I had one, but maybe not. This shouldn't take long anyway. Right, so we come in straight no matter what. Or there is... Right, so at the next point we have a choice. We either go up or we go straight down. Then we can go straight or go up at an angle, a 45-degree angle, depending upon how we came in. Right, I've got that copied out. So, same as before, we start at the end and we work backwards. That's the most efficient way to deal with this. And this time we don't have to worry about the angles that the junctions make being variable. So, if we want to go straight up, I probably meant to do... Hold on. That's easier. Right. So, we want to end up going straight up, don't we? If we want the signal to end up at E. What then? So that means that we're coming in straight here. Which means that we must go down here, because the only options here are to go straight, which we can't do with a right angle, or come down. If we've come down, then we have to go up. No option there. And if we've come up, then that's right, isn't it? Hold on, let me make sure I haven't made a mistake. So, from the end, we come in from the top, we go out straight. We come in straight and we go down. Then we come from below and go straight up. And then we come in from above. Yep, I think that's all correct. So pick that up, put the heat stone in. I've clearly made a mistake. Check my diagram quickly. That all looks good. Okay, where did I make the mistake? Let's trace this the other way round. So we're coming in straight. We don't get a choice about that. Then we go up. Oh, that is wrong. Sorry, that is wrong. Oh, I see what I did wrong. It should be that and this, I think. So we go down, then we come up at an angle, then we come in from above. Oh goodness, I've really mucked this up, haven't I? We come in from above, so we have to go straight here. There we go. Oh, we can actually see the laser coming out over there, so we know at least the laser's made it out over there, which implies it's probably cut the rope. Okie dokie. Now I need to change corridor beta so that the signal will be coming out at D rather than E. But to do that I need to be on the other side, which means I need to first change this one. You heard the metal disc falling too. That's true. That is very true. Right, let's do this. Let's try to get this first time. So, we need to go up. After going up, we're coming in straight, so we're going out straight, because this junction's just a straight line, so it's not really a junction. I keep calling these... I suppose they sort of are junctions, because we can change which direction they go. But at any one instance, of course, they're fixed. So we're coming in straight, then where are we going? We have two choices, but only one of them's valid. The only valid choice, I think, is to come in straight and go down. Then we're coming from below. So that should work, I think. There we go. Wonderful. Excellent. Alrighty. So the next thing to do is I need to adjust this. So... Tevra, seems you like this game considering you're pretty far into it. I played it through for the first time about half a year ago, I think. Oh, it's absolutely lovely to meet you. And yes, I am enjoying the game quite a lot. How about you? How did your playthrough go? Right, that needs to be straight. Where to from here? I don't think that's... Wait, if that's straight, how are we coming in? We are actually coming in straight. So a straight line does not help in this situation. Which means, I think, this is what we want. We come in and then go up. Well, actually we'd be travelling in the other direction, so we come down and go straight. I got really awfully stuck in one specific place. I know that feeling. I don't think I would have reached this point anywhere near so quickly if it wasn't for the occasional helpful nudges from chat. I've issues with sound puzzles. There's a horrifically hard one in a place. Oh, are you thinking of the one in the mechanics? No, because you get given a visual indicator there, don't you? Ooh, I wonder if that's one coming up. Right, I think we come in straight here. And we can actually go out straight as well. So that's alright. Then we come in from above. And go out straight. That works, doesn't it? Let me... No, that doesn't work. Yes, I think this is more like it. But yes, I do appreciate the problem you're describing. If you don't have a good ear for sound, then that must be extremely frustrating. Can't say my ear's all that brilliant either. Right, go straight, straighten up. Then we come in straight. Hold on, if we're coming in straight, then this needs to be turned. So let's check that again. We go in a straight line, then we go up. We come in straight, go out straight. But that means we're coming in from above. I think that works. One last check. Straight. Then we go up. But we end up coming in straight. And then we come down from above and then we go through there. Right, I think that's set up. Right, so this needs to go back. Perhaps I will do it from this side since I seem to have more luck doing it from the start to the end. Even though, like I say, it makes more sense to do it from the end to the start, I think. So, this needs to be reversed. So I'm going down. Then I go straight and up like that at 45 degrees. Then I come in from above. So that has to be the angle I continue at. And then... I see. And then we go up. That should connect up to C. Oh yeah, you can see. That's worked. Wonderful. I managed to memorize both variants on the first part here due to going back and forth multiple times. Yeah. I was wondering something similar, how long it would take to just have these memorized. Still, progress. I hope. Ooh. Oh, thank you. What was that? Underworld hideaway? Or probably underwater hideaway, that would make more sense. Professor Maythorn? Nope. Oh, wonderful. A grid. We love ourselves a good grid, don't we? So there's this object. Ooh. Interesting. Can I put it back and does that put that thing away? No. So that was a one-time change. Fair enough. Ooh, a letter.
Wasting time. This phrase has no rhyme or reason. After the centuries I've spent working, I needed a calm and quiet place. I originally built this facility to explore the depths of the ocean and to research, but eventually I spent more time resting here. This was the only place where I could hide from her. She judges me for demolishing long-forgotten buildings on an abandoned island, while she is directly responsible for much greater destruction. And after she told me about their failure, she dared asking me to destroy Quern. Her agony is not my concern, and especially not yours. This power is not hers to give or take.
Interesting. That must be a reference to... Gamana. The Dolmar Guardian. And Ball of Energy. What can we see from here? Oh, this could be the pipe. Yeah, you see that pipe going up there? There was a pipe on the surface of Quern that seemed to go down at an angle like that. I wonder if that's the same one. Interesting. Oh, pen and paper notes? I used MS Paint and a liberal amount of screenshots. Yes, indeed. I do have, obviously, the notes in the game, which can be handy if you want to quickly get an exact copy of something, but for most of my working out, I prefer pen and paper notes. The only disadvantage is obviously I can't show it on stream, which I appreciate as a problem. This is two-way. I just had a thought. I didn't actually check whether I could get back. Though I don't suppose it would matter. I doubt the game actually lets you get properly stuck. I imagine if you end up in an area where there really is no way back, then that's intended. Interesting. Ooh, it changes colour. That's an even more interesting drink than I thought. But it's really quite transparent. I mean, obviously it's translucent because it's colouring, but it's not cloudy at all, whatever it is. Interesting. So what have we got here? That's the Roman numeral 2, isn't it? Might not be, but it looks like it. Alright. I actually like getting locked in. It's a heavy hint that nothing is wrong and that you're in the right place. That's a good point. Reduces the possibility space a lot as well. I don't see anything else to do here other than activate this. This button. I can't help but notice the torso-shaped bits of metal here, the boots there, other bits of metal down there. It's as if it's about to put a scuba suit on me. Yes, that looks like it could be a helmet. That looks like a very old, not scuba suit, what's the name of it? Diving suit. It looks like an old-fashioned diving suit. Yeah, the only thing that slightly bothers me is I don't understand the significance of this yet. As in most other instances where we've come across grids like this, it's been obvious that we were supposed to look up a series of values. But at present, I don't know. I don't know how I should be analysing this. I don't know what I'm looking for. Hopefully that will come clear shortly. So let's just activate this. See how we go. Ooh. Do I have a way back up? Looks like it. Incidentally, where's this air coming from? I don't see a tube going to me. Oh, I've got oxygen tanks on my back, don't I? Or on my front. Because they would have been in front of me when I pressed the button. So there's a lever there. which goes to this. I've no idea what that is. This unsettled me a lot. I have a slight phobia of the deep sea. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. If you find this bit uncomfortable, of course, don't feel like you have to stick around. Right, that looks like an example of one of the codes. So I guess I will make a note of this. It's still not entirely clear how these codes are going to be used. I could never play a game like Subnautica. Lovely to watch though. Yes, I can imagine that would be particularly unpleasant. So I've seen a couple of levers, but I don't want to just start pulling levers here, there and everywhere until I have some idea what it's going to do. Unless, of course, there's no way for me to tell ahead of time. Ooh, we can actually see the green laser that transported us. This part just reminds me of the underwater scene of KOTOR, walking slowly and being annoyed. I don't think I've heard of KOTOR. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, I've never actually played that game. I remember it. That's an old one, isn't it? If it's the one I think it is, that it was a very well received game at the time. I don't know how well it would hold up today. Oh, it's great, you say. It is, however, notoriously the hardest game to capture for streaming. Definitively the hardest. Interesting. Am I correct that it's a very old game? As in, probably mid-2000s or before? Or have I just got my games mixed up in my head? Also, it's lovely to see you, Pengy. I hope you're well. It was like 2004, 2005? Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. When I say mid-2000s, I was thinking mid-noughties. So around that time. But in any other context, if you said mid-2000s, you'd think I meant around 2500, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'm only seeing 2 of these, 1 and 3. This is the reason why I haven't pulled any of the 3 levers that I'm currently aware of, because I feel like there should be another one of these plates with 2 on. It could just be in a different area that I don't have access to, but again, since I don't know what these levers are going to do, I want to make a... Oh, there's another one. Yes, okay. I was going to say make a proper effort in earnest to locate as many of these plates as I can before I start experimenting with the levers. Just doing your best to make my hair fall out, remembering I'm in my 30s now. Sad times. You're not actually much older than me. I certainly could have played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic when it came out. It's just that I wouldn't have been aware it existed then. I played quite a lot of Morrowind back in the day though. That's one of my all-time favourite games. And Morrowind's of course older. I think that was 2001? Maybe 2002, one or the other. But I didn't actually become aware of Knights of the Old Republic existing until quite a lot later. We're on the same page taste-wise. I have been thinking about doing a Morrowind game on stream. Always worth a replay indeed. Fun fact, I don't think I've ever done the main quest. I know it sounds... at this point it almost seems like a cliche thing to say since so many people say that, but I don't think I have. I'm very aware of what happens during the main quest because I helped my sister play through it. Plus, I had done some of the earlier parts of the main quest, so I know the story, but I don't think I've ever actually played through the main quest from start to finish myself. I feel like there's probably another plaque around here. Might not be. I feel like there probably is, and I'm just missing it. Back then, I didn't really have a gaming computer. Some random Macs, some random Linux machines. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know how well Morrowind would hold up for someone that has never played it before. Like, I absolutely love it. I consider it to be probably the best Elder Scrolls game. The only game that could potentially challenge it on that front would probably be Daggerfall, but they are rather different games. And of course, playing it so much when I was younger, of course, I've been immersed in the lore, and I love the world, which I think is much more creative than the world that the later Elder Scrolls games created. And it tends to be a bit of I think it's probably fair to say it's a slower paced game than they are, and requires more thinking about things that you're doing. Like, for example, this was before quest markers became a thing, so, well, I don't know if any game had them before, but they weren't expected, and they certainly weren't there. So, for example, if you accepted a quest to go somewhere and do something, you'd just be given directions on, usually in your journal or a piece of paper, and then it was up to you to navigate the roads to get there or find other routes, because there were plenty of for example, fast travel options, but they were built into the world. So for example, you could fast travel to some places by boats, but in that case the place would have to either be on the coast. I don't remember if any of the boats went up major rivers or not, but it would probably have to be on the coast. There were land animals that could take you places, but only certain places. There were, for a fee, well, all these things cost money, but for example, if you went to a mages guild, they could teleport you again to specific places. So as you played the game, you built up this understanding of how this sense of how the travel networks worked, and so you could potentially get to places quickly and so on. That, like I say, that's an example of how the game required more, just a little bit more intellect, I think, than the later installments assumed. But yeah, if someone had literally never played it before, I don't know how they'd find it. I did used to hold every missed speedrun record, maybe also that. Goodness. I'm getting a work call. I have to run. No worries. Thank you for dropping by. Best part of Morrowind, in my opinion, no quest markers. Indeed. Yeah, I'd certainly prefer that. I mean, I certainly remember when I was younger the amount of enjoyment I had out of even just getting lost. Occasionally, obviously you might follow the instructions incorrectly, or I think there was at least one quest where you were actually given incorrect directions. Which that in itself I probably wouldn't recommend as a game mechanic, but even when you went off course and ended up somewhere you didn't intend to, you usually ended up somewhere interesting and still ended up with a story at the end of it. It was good. Anyway, what am I doing? Levers. But the game does have to be designed with that in mind. I know there are mods, for example, that will remove all the quest markers from games like Skyrim and Oblivion, and that just doesn't work because the game doesn't give you directions. In Morrowind, if you got a quest, as I say, you would be given directions, but it would be written directions. In games, you can't just remove quest markers from a game that assumed that the only directions you'd be given would be the quest marker, because then they tell you to go to such and such a place, and there's just no way you could possibly know where that is. Getting lost and finding novel things is so much fun. I agree. Although if you're low level, or at least I remember when my characters were low level, are dying quite a lot because of that. Right, that's all 3 levers I'm aware of. And I can't put them back down again. So it's not like it's some sort of combination lock where I'm supposed to have them a certain levers in the up position, certain levers in the down position. But I must admit, I'm not 100% sure what that's done. My best guess is that if I go back up, maybe something will have changed. I mean, I can see these lights have been switching on along here, but just turning a few lights on isn't actually that useful. I assume it's indicative of something else having changed. I mean, the fact that I'm allowed back up here indicates that I was supposed to come back up here at some point. Oh yeah, it looks like the oxygen tank was on my front, of all places, rather than on my back. Ah, I don't recall if these 3 lights were on before. I wonder if they weren't. Ah, it is connected to the same pipe, so they probably weren't. But I still don't know why I would have wanted to do that. I also get the feeling that there should be another grid like this, labelled 1. Let's quickly do the codes that we know about and have been asked to do. So we have Roman numeral 2, C8. C8, I make that 8. As it happens. And we were also given the code F1, so that's 3. This is probably going to turn into a combination. It looks like we have the middle 2 digits of a decimal. Here we go. I was missing something. Okay, H3 is 0. And D9 D9 is 5. So I now have the combination 0835. And we've also done this. But again, it's not at all obvious why this is beneficial. I mean, I can retrace my steps further. I can go back this way and see if something's changed. Again, since the game will let me go back, I can only assume I am supposed to do this at some point. We'd have to go back quite a long way though. Okay, this door isn't playing nicely. That suggests there is something more I'm expected to do. There don't appear to be any more lights on this. It would be surprising if there was something more down there that I missed. Because I did have a walkabout down there for quite some time, and the only thing I found were the plaques and the levers. But equally, it doesn't seem like I can interact with much in this area. What I could do actually is I could go... I see a problem. I was going to say I could go down there holding down the Alt key to highlight anything that's interactable, and perhaps it'd turn up something that I missed. I've just realised all the little detritus that float about down here. I can't tell if they're supposed to be air bubbles or just little bits and bobs in the seawater. Given that they're floating up, I assume air bubbles. That the particle effect is actually really quite similar to the particle effect for something that's been highlighted. So that may be a problem. Yeah, you can see here you can just about see the, yeah, if I step back a bit, you can just about see the particle effect, but it's not obvious. Just trying to think what else it could be. That is assuming there isn't actually anything else down here. What could I have missed? I wonder what it is that actually caused the door back out to close. Did that happen as soon as I walked into the area? Or was it because I activated something in the room? Could it be that I was able to go back, but I needed to turn something off first? Oh, I'll tell you what it could be. It could be that the devs really didn't want me to leave that room, leaving my green crystal behind, which I almost did. Maybe if I pick the green crystal up, then the door opens. That would make sense. Back we go. Right, will the door work now? Ahaha! That must have been it. So I'm guessing if we make our way back, we'll find somewhere we can use a combination? Oh, I remember this. This was the ladder puzzle, wasn't it? This was quite a short puzzle compared to the one that succeeded it. Right, we're back in the central portion. But we need another one of those pieces. A combination on its own doesn't really do anything. I could check back up at the top. I don't remember everything that was up here. It's possible there was a locker or something that needed a combination. I can't rule out the possibility that where we just were in the underwater hideaway there was something I missed, but we did have a reasonable look about. Yes, we completed that, and we gained a piece from there. It would be surprising if we could liberate any more pieces from here, since there doesn't seem to be anywhere to input a combination. Anything up here? No. This doesn't go high enough to input a combination, but this machine does, obviously, modifies the key anyway. It already has a well-defined function. That's not to say they couldn't have given it two functions. But it's a good reason not to be too eager to ascribe to it some other purpose. Okay, we should probably go back to the underwater hideaway then and see if I did miss something. Nothing in here, is there? Don't think so. Ow. Hit my head. I'm just wondering what the function of these two things are above the button. Right, let's put the green crystal back in. Alrighty. We don't seem to be able to interact with anything here. I suppose this tube itself is interesting. Yeah, we never found out what the point of pulling all those levers were. Perhaps I shouldn't have been so quick to dismiss that. Oh, hello. Okay, yes, we absolutely are supposed to do something with this. Oh, there we go. Interesting, it expects 5 digits. Oh, I do feel like a fool now. So I assume I missed a plaque down there? Or maybe it's a plaque in another area? I don't know. Check the walls so much and never the centre, indeed. If there's been one consistent problem highlighted by this playthrough, it's been a lack of observation. I think my torch works down here. I mean, I suppose that makes sense. In so much as it's not a flame, so I don't see why the crystals wouldn't work down here. Although it does imply that when the suit was placed on me, that my inventory remained outside of it. Otherwise, how else would I be holding up the torch? I suppose I could be holding it up inside the suit itself, but that would seem a bit cramped. It's not above me, is it? Which one's that? Is that 4? That's 4. That's 1. Nope, not supposed to climb that. Bit of a mystery. fifth one. Perhaps I should check up here. It's not on here, is it? Doesn't appear to be. It's not out here. I mean, that would be a slightly clever place to put it. Somewhere that we can't get to on foot while we're outside, but which is clearly visible. Doesn't seem like it. I mean, I do realise I could brute force it quite quickly, but I'd prefer to do it legitimately if I could. It's not back here, is it? I'd rather like to think they wouldn't have placed it in here though, since that would require changing the junctions back to be able to get there. It's not about here, is it? I'm not seeing it anywhere. I suppose I could have one more walkabout out here. Suppose I should just walk the perimeter very slowly and carefully to make sure I don't miss anything. I mean, as you can see, that they're not shy about putting these close together. Just thinking, there's not a pattern to them, is there? No, I don't think so. The codes, I mean, not being a pattern. But H3, C8, F1 and D9 don't seem to me like they're in any sort of pattern. I'm reasonably convinced it's not out here. See, I can't be 100% sure. I may just have to brute force it, but that does seem like a shame. No, I'm really not seeing it. That's not it, is it? No. That's probably the other side of the button at the top. Oh well. So 0, 8, 3, 5. Oh, was that it? Huh, I didn't even have to submit it in any way. Fair enough. 08353. As far as I know, there's no 5th. Oh, I don't like that. It's not that you can't work it out, but it encourages, I think, the wrong sort of problem solving. Because that's the exact sort of thinking that a player trying to circumvent the puzzles would have to do. It's a bit like how I felt with some of the very late puzzles in the Talos Principle. It's not that they weren't suitably challenging, it's just they required you to think outside of the box so much that they were causing you to think along the exact same lines that someone trying to break the game would be thinking. And I seem to remember right at the end of the Gehenna DLC, I ended up finding some solutions that apparently were non-canon, which I attribute to the fact that... Oh, hello.
I wouldn't try jumping if I were you. He couldn't control everything after all. I remember when this bridge collapsed not long before you came. It's a relief to see how time and nature together could outplay even him. How an unforeseen accident can ruin a life's work. I can't deny that his failure brings me joy. Unfortunately, I still need you to stay on his path. I think I may be able to guide you through. But first, I need to show you something. Now, follow me. You will not fall.
Is this trickery? Is she trying to get me to commit suicide? What was I thinking? Yeah, I was saying about in the Talos Principle, I I end up finding some non-canon solutions, and I attribute that to the fact that, to the degree to which they were encouraging you to think outside of the box. Oh, by the way, started Tales in VR. Looked pretty cool, but was late when I tried, so didn't really get to any puzzles. That's interesting to know. I don't think there is a wrong way to solve things. I see what you mean. But sometimes solutions feel a bit cheap. Yeah, she's probably right that I can't jump for that. I play randomizer of ALTTP casually. I'll follow the mantra. If you can get there, it's in logic. ALTTP. I'm not sure what that is. A link to the past. Oh! That's one of the old Zelda games, isn't it? Okay. This is looking more convincing. I suppose, to be fair, I don't know that she's not just creating sparkly lights to deceive me, but I feel more confident now that I won't fall.
Don't look down.
Why not?
Just follow me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Let's hope she doesn't just retract
No
the
need to
bridge
hurry.
all of a sudden.
You must trust me.
Well, I don't have a lot of choice at this point. Yes, A Link to the Past. Was that the game that was... Oh, just before or after Majora's Mask, I think.
Sanctuary. He removed the crystals to darken these tunnels. Let's have some light. I suppose he wanted to hide this place from you. It's not far from here.
Trust me, no need to worry. It's the best thing to gain trust. No red flags at all. Oh, Super Nintendo before Ocarina of Time. I should probably be looking around, shouldn't I? Interesting. That's the same symbol we've seen up top, haven't we? I've forgotten what it was associated with, but we've seen that symbol a lot. Where is it in my notes? That was the first symbol we came across. Could that be the symbol for the gateway? It's possible, isn't it? Might not be.
I brought him here once too. Surprisingly, it is one of the only places he didn't ruin since then. But I doubt he kept it intact simply out of respect.
Ooh. Didn't miss anything back there, did I? Don't think so. What have we picked up? A bucket of blue crystals. Gamma would be interested in this. Oh, sorry, Gamana. I wonder why.
This is the place we once called the Great Hall of the Amajat, the Shrine of the Seekers. You must look around and find some blue crystal powder to cast into the fire.
Oh, the Great Hall of the Amajat. What was the other one? The Hall of the Seekers, I think?
Have you found any blue crystal powder yet?
Not yet. It's crazy how good that game is to randomise. It got so many alternate paths and optional ways to do enemies or locations. If you squint at it, you could fool yourself into thinking it was made to be randomised. That's very interesting. I don't have any blue crystal powder, do I? No. Ooh. I wonder if that does the gate. I wonder what element of that game's design then, or what elements helped it by accident be so good to be randomised. Ahaha. Okay. Is this for grinding crystals by any chance? Item X is needed at location Y, etc. I would need. Is needed at location Y, etc. I would guess. Well, true, but that would be the case with a lot of games, and you'd have thought in a lot of cases it would lead to impossible situations if you just try to randomise it. Ah, I see what's going on here. Newer Zelda games are so locked into that pattern. Is it a particularly branching game, normally? A game that players can complete in largely whatever order they want, except for presumably at the very start and end. No, that's the one I need, isn't it? Well, I hope that's what I was expected to do. I need to weigh that down with something. There we go. Oh, that worked out well. I didn't notice a spout until after it started.
Now use the crane up there to throw the powder into the fire.
I didn't notice the spout until after the powder started falling out, so that was it was good the game didn't allow me to just jump on top of there. Crane, you say? Is that over here? Ah, that must be the fire she's talking about. Impressive automation for being all mechanic. Hmm. I mean, I think that's pretty on par with the real world.
Powder into the fire.
Presumably that goes there. Perhaps I'm not allowed to interact with it until after I've loaded it. I wonder what this is going to do. Is this going to reveal a great deal, many more spirits or something? Well, not if it was rocks and stones with that pressure plate. Or ropes and stones. Oh, goodness.
Now, it is time I told you the story of my people. It is time you learned the truth about this world. The Dulmar was a great, noble, and prosperous civilization. They were people of peace, a thriving society of wisdom and art. Then, everything changed. At the dawn of the Third Age, we were attacked by the Shadows. Over the years, our colonies have fallen one by one. The Shadows have slaughtered our settlers without mercy. They filled our hearts with terrible fear. In the great halls of Unnatko, the capital city of our world, the Circle of Elders have chosen 3 of our best people. Roran, the most skilled warrior. Theodore, the brightest of all scholars. And a devoted shaman, me. We were called the Amajat, the Seekers. Our goal was to find a legendary place of great power, Quern. We embarked on a journey to face the unknown and to find what was hidden. This quest has forged a strong friendship between the 3 of us. Over the years, we visited countless worlds. We became exhausted and shattered under the weight of the responsibility. We learned that the Shadows had reached the outer walls of Unatko. We almost lost faith, but we couldn't stop. As we kept searching, we found a world that astonished all of us. This very world. Here, we found what we needed the most. Time. Time to find a way. A way to save our people. Our worries trapped us here, knowing that our home is only safe if we stay on this island. The search was over. We knew that finding this island in our time of need was not an accident. It gave us hope, and we started to believe that this world was Quern. Over centuries, we perfected our expertise. We, the Amajat, have become idols of strength, intellect, and discipline. But it was not enough. The infinite time we have been given made us obsessed with the overcoming urge to save our people. As we kept training and learning, pursuing power slowly became our only passion. We had risen above the boundaries of the body and mind. Eventually, we almost forgot the very principle of our mission. And then, I had a vision of our people. I saw their suffering. At that moment, I understand we had become the very power we were sent to search for. It was time for us to head home. I knew we were prepared. We were ready to face them. But the Shadows were no longer my worst fear. I was afraid of what we had become. I was afraid of facing reality. We appeared at the edge of doom. Most of our great city was burning in flames. Unatko, our home, was about to fall. And then, we vanquished our enemies. There was no fight. They couldn't fight back. We cleansed our city of the Shadows. A war that had lasted years ended in seconds. We were the saviors. We were celebrated like gods. And that's exactly how we felt. But we knew that the people we saved were not really our people anymore. We no longer belonged here. We felt we were more.
Uh-huh.
After witnessing our power, People lost their faith in the Council. We, the Amajat, have taken their place. But having fulfilled our destiny, the strong bond between the three of us started to fade. A new era has begun. The era of division and conflict. As our disagreements became stronger, we turned against each other. This caused the people to take sides. A war has erupted from within. A war we were too proud to stop. Chaos rumbled across the streets of Unatco. We watched our once thriving society fall apart. Our home was destroyed. All because of us. Because of what we have become. I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't bear the great emptiness I felt anymore. I left what remained of my world for one final journey. Following the path we once walked upon, I found Quern once again. But I did not come back for its power. I came back to face the curse that made me forget who I was. I spent centuries meditating on my past mistakes, trying to find a way to make up for what I'd done. By accepting the loss of all attachments that kept me in the physical world, I managed to ascend to a new form of existence.
Oh, so that hadn't already
In this
happened.
way, I will never lose myself again, and I can guard this place for eternity.
Guard it from what? Also, that...
He didn't want you to know about our heritage. He didn't want you to see how the power of the island can ruin an entire civilization. He too wants to ignore it, but you must know the truth. He cannot accept the destructive power of this knowledge that he worships above all else. No civilization could contain this kind of power, especially not a single person. It is time for you to return to his path. I will meet you back at the entrance.
Yeah, a lot of vague warnings there, not a lot of specifics. This also reinforces something that we'd begun to suspect earlier, that the structures we saw here in Quern weren't actually built by the Dalmar. They were built by some other civilization, and then the Dalmar just turned up. I've listened to this so many times. The darn Steam achievement won't trigger for me. I'm sorry to hear that.
Now you must continue following his guidance. I will help you get back on his path. He was the first person who found this island after we left. And you must be the last person to ever be here.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's not that what she's saying is completely implausible. It's just that she's not provided much solid evidence. I mean, for example, just because her people, well, the three of them, failed to, succumbed to more base desires and caused a great civil war, doesn't mean that's going to happen to every single person, unless she knows
You have to
something.
go alone now, but soon we will meet again.
That would increase the likelihood of that, in which case, why hasn't she communicated as such? Pretty common issue for this old game. Achievements triggering ahead of time or not at all. Upon loading a file, you can randomly get achievements of solving puzzles that are not done yet. That happened to me. Oh, goodness. That's not ideal. Interesting. Oh, I think I get it. This is going to be catapulted off. And presumably we can put the green crystal on there so that we can then teleport ourselves up to wherever this is going. Yes, and this pipe is helping to transfer that signal. So the green crystal doesn't have to... It's not that there's a green crystal up here and we're putting a green crystal down here. We put the crystal on the little hanging basket. It gets catapulted off, and then rather than the green crystal following a straight line along the path of the steel rope, instead the beam follows these optics. That makes sense. Right, off it goes. With any luck, we can teleport now. No idea where we're going to end up, though. That's not so bad. When you think that we could have ended up absolutely anywhere. Okay. What's the point of the other two? Lower mechanics. Oh, we're back here, are we? B, A, B, C. Interesting. We're stuck here for quite a bit. Oh no. Now that's a curious thing. That's no doubt supposed to be a massive clue. But that would also appear to be a new mechanic.
These are the lower levels of the mechanics. It was here I learned that all the attributes of the different minerals could be harnessed by dividing the energy beam of the white crystal. The shortage of crystalline materials no longer hindered my work. With this knowledge, I was even able to isolate green crystal beams, the exact same energy ray that the ancient gateways use. This could suggest that there is a connection between this world and the origin of the ancient gateways. Focusing on my work helped me deal with the unbearable loneliness that started to consume my mind.
That's an interesting possibility that the ancient gateways could have stemmed from, could have come from Quern, but also a little worrying in so much as that would imply that there was some sort of life here that evolved, got to the point of sentience, managed to build gateways to get out of there, and then that was their first encounter with aging and the need to eat and drink as soon as they left. Truth conquers all. Interesting. Okay. Ah, we've been in there before, haven't we? Interesting. Ah, okay. I'm starting to get it. So there's 3 positions. Those positions are A, B, and C. And there's 2 sections. There's a white section and an orange section. So presumably, if I put the orange section in location C, then I can put the white one in B, which is at the bottom. Hello, Cat L. It's going quite well. How are you? Interesting. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, this is telling me the current state of the system, and it's exactly as I've described. Will this do nothing? Yeah, this will do nothing. I wonder what the utility of this is then. There's nothing in here that I can interact with, is there? I think so. I wonder why there are gears still moving. That implies some process is still ongoing. Okay, so if we send this back to A... I sent the wrong one, didn't I? Never mind. We can correct that in a second. It's just that I've noticed this display doesn't seem to be doing anything on this one, while we have the orange section. Do I mean orange or white? I mean white. Well, we have the white section down the bottom, so I assume I need the orange section down here to do something. What that thing is, I don't know yet. Right, that's what we meant to do. Right, this should spring to life now, and it has. Oh, is it going to be enough one of those rotation puzzles? I'm wondering what this is about, though. Is this the same as when we did it before? Trying to remember when we did this before, how far into the game we were. Oh, there's my notes. So that's 2 and 3, which wasn't one of the combinations we had before, I don't think. Okay. Oh no, that's 1 and 2, which we also didn't have before. So this is different this time round. So we have 1 and 2. 2 and 4. I'm enumerating the rings incidentally in case that wasn't obvious. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting from the inside out. We have 1 and 3. And we have 3 and 4. I think... Yes, every ring seems to occur twice. Which is not ideal. That makes it harder, but fair enough. That doesn't seem to do anything. One and 2 Roman numerals. I wonder what that's referring to. Oh, I get it. I get it. So I only have so many rotations that I can select from. I have a -3, a -2, a -1, a 0, a 1, a 2, and a 2. Well, unless I'm very much mistaken, -3 is just 1, a -2 is just 2, a -3 is just 3. So effectively I have 1 naught. I have 2 1s. I have 3 2s. And I have 1 3. So I suppose the next question is, what am I trying to achieve? Like, obviously I'm rotating the walls again, but what do I want to do? I'm assuming that 1 and 2 must be these two, must correspond to these two walkways? Is there any indication of which one's which? I don't think so. Although one of them apparently we wouldn't be able to go in anyway. And there's this over here. We still don't really know what this is about. Presumably we need to find some sort of combination for that. Okay, since I don't seem to have perfect information, I'm going to hazard a guess that this closest one is 1 and the far one is 2. And so we want to line everything up so it's at so we have a way to walk in from 1. So if I add to my notes a record of the current direction all the walls are facing, that would be beneficial. So the innermost wall, 1, is facing towards Roman numeral 1. That is down. The next wall out is facing up. That's where the entrance is. The next one is facing right. The next one's facing left. Right. Trying to think of a systematic way of representing this. Okay, let's call this the leftmost the leftmost pair A, then B, then C, then D. Therefore, we know that let's not call these 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's going to get confusing with the numbers, because we are actually dealing with numbers here, like numbers of rotations. So let's call them alpha, beta, delta, gamma. So, if we denote the final position, I suppose I need to number the directions as well. Since we're dealing in multiples of rotations, these should also be numbered. So, that's 0, straight up is 0, 1, 2, 3. So, the position of alpha after we've rotated it is going to be equal to 2, because that's its starting position, plus plus ax plus it's alpha, that is the innermost ring, partial ring, is featured in A and B, I think. No, A and C. Yes, A and C. So it's going to be AX, so alpha equals 2 plus AX plus CY, where alpha is both how I'm denoting the ring itself, but also its position. I know that's a bit confusing, but there's only so many symbols I can use. 2 is the direction it's facing in to begin with. A is the coefficient of the leftmost pair, the number of times it needs to rotate. C is the same for the third pair, and X and Y are the coefficients of these two respectively. So we can define the others in a similar way. Beta is going to be, well, it's already facing 0, so there's no constant there. It's going to be hold on, is that going to work? I've overcomplicated it. We don't need X and Y. We can just call the coefficients here A, B, C and D. So alpha equals 2 plus A plus C. Beta is going to be 0 plus A plus B. Gamma is going to be equal to C plus D. Sorry, what's its initial state? I forgot the constant. It's initially facing right, so that's 1. So that's 1 plus C plus D. And delta equals um, 3 plus B plus D. So yeah, that's alpha equals 2 plus A plus C, B equals A plus B, gamma equals 1 plus C plus D, and delta equals 3 plus B plus D. And we want them all to equal 2 by the end, bearing in mind that all numbers are modulo 4. So once we increment all the way up to 4, then we go back round to 0. So we have a cycle of numbers that goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, forever and ever. So for example, a value of 5 is really just 2. No, it's really just 1. Sorry. Making a fool out of myself. Because 4 would be 0, 5 would be 1, and so on. Right, so like I say, all of those need to equal 2, so we just need to select appropriate coefficients for A, B, C and D, given that we can use 0 once, 1 twice, 2 3 times, and 3 once. So basically it's just simultaneous equations, I think. Yeah, in fact, since we know that alpha needs to equal 2, and beta needs to equal 2, and gamma needs to equal 2, and delta needs to equal 2, they're all equal, and so it does end up working out exactly as simultaneous equations. So we can express this another way by saying A plus C equals 0, A plus B equals 2, C plus D equals 1, and B plus D equals 3. That's right, isn't it? Because we had delta equals 3 plus B plus D, and we want it to equal 2, so we add 3 to it because because 3 plus 3, sorry, we say that B plus D must be 3 because 3 plus 3 is 6, which modulo 4 is 2, which is the solution we're looking for. Right, so that simplifies out quite nicely. We have A plus C equals 0, A plus B equals 2, C plus D equals 1, B plus D equals 3. Now I need to select appropriate coefficients to make that work. Question is, do I just start plugging values in? Or am I more systematic than that? I have to remember I'm only allowed to use certain coefficients so many times because these are the only coefficients I'm allowed. So certain solutions to the simultaneous equation aren't allowed. So it's slightly more complex than just simultaneous equations. For example, the simplest possible solution to the simultaneous equations I just stated would be A equals 0, C equals 0, B equals 2, D equals 1. But that's using 0 twice, which I'm not allowed to do. I'm just eyeballing it because I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to solve this. I'm sure there are more systematic approaches I could take, but there aren't that many coefficients that I can choose from, so well, if A plus C equals 2... Sorry, that's wrong. If A plus C equals 0, and we know that... if A plus C equals 0, then... and we know that they're not both 0, that is the coefficients, because we're only allowed to use 0 once. Either we have a 1 and a 3, or we have 2 2s. Arbitrarily, let's say they're 2 2s and then see where that gets us. That means we end up with A plus B equals 2, which means B must be 0. C plus D equals 1, that means D equals 3. That works. Okay, so a solution is one solution is A equals 2, C equals 2, B equals 0, D equals 3. Let me double check, I haven't made a mistake, have I? C plus D is 5, which goes round to 1 because we're modulo 2. Yes, that does work. Alrighty then. So A needs to be 2. B needs to be 0. C needs to be 2. Minus 2 modulo 4 is 2. And D needs to be 3. Minus 1 modulo 4 is 3. So if I haven't made a mistake, that yep, they all line up. Wonderful. Now I get to find out what the value of being in here even is. So I must admit, I'm not seeing it right now. Got to admit, this seems pretty pointless. So what was the value in that? I could solve again for the other side. In theory, I could solve again for any wall configuration. Although some of them probably aren't possible. Incidentally, what state is the machine in now? Okay, it doesn't work until I reset it. That's what I expected, but I wanted to make sure. And I assume resetting it will cause all the walls to go back to their initial position. Otherwise this is going to be a pain, since I'll have to write out some new simultaneous equations each time. So what am I missing? I'm sure the game wouldn't have given me the ability to manipulate the walls for no reason. Tell you what would be interesting to know. If I move this, do the walls go back? No, they don't. Is there any way I can exploit that? Is that useful? Well, this is still here, so I can't use it to get in there. Can I line up those walls with the staircase of the... Hold on, I'm doing this wrong. No, that is right. With the staircase for the white floor. Let's find out, shall we? No, that's not a thing that can be done. Hello. Oh, that makes life easier. Don't know what it is, but don't mind if I do. Looks like a dial. A machine might be missing it. Still, I don't think all the work we did on the walls just then, on figuring out how the rotations work, was a waste of time, because, as I say, I can only imagine that that is actually going to be used at some point. Like, probably here. Is this where the dial goes? That's where a dial goes, okay. We're probably missing other dials. Well, there's 2 rooms in here, and there's obviously down there. That makes me wonder if that's where the 3 dials are. And then once I have all the dials, it'll tell me the combination to the door over here. That's my guess. Definitely not missing anything over here, am I? No other dials? Oh, that's why it's blocked up over here. That's so that I have to send that floor up there in order for me to go in the back. Okay then. Yes. Let's send this back to A. And then we'll bring this one back, and we'll try extra hard to find a dial. I mean, there could easily have been a dial in here all along. As in when we encountered it before. In the mechanics initially, but I just wouldn't have recognised. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's another dial. Well, I know how to get to it, but that means there's probably one more dial that I don't know how to get to. I say I know how to get to it. I'm about to figure out how to get to it. Alright. So, just need to solve this again for a different case. So it's pretty much the same, except that this time we want all of alpha, beta, gamma and delta to equal 0, not 2. So we end up with A plus C equals 2. We end up with A plus B equals 0. We end up with C plus D equals 3. And we end up with B plus D equals 1. And I'll copy this out once more. The coefficients I'm allowed to use. I'm allowed 1 use of 0, 2 uses of 1, 3 uses of 2, and 1 use of 3. And again, I'm just going to eyeball it because I feel like that's going to be the easiest way. So if A plus C equals 2, that could be 2 1s, or that could be a 0 and a 2. Are there any we can be more specific about? A plus B equals 0. They can't both be 0 because I'm only allowed 1 use of 0. So that's either 2 and 2, or a 1 and a 3 in either order. Let's arbitrarily say that it's 2 and 2. That then leads to 2 plus C equals 2, so C would have to be 0. C plus D equals 3, so D would have to be 3. B, which we said is 2, plus D, which we said is 3, equals 1. Well, that makes 5 modulo 4, which is indeed 1. So yes, that's a solution. So what was it again? A equals 2, B equals 2, C equals 0, and D equals 3, wasn't it? Yes, that'll do it. So let's reset this. Praying it's going back to the same position as it was before. It appears to have. I know I've only checked 2 of the 4 walls there, but they're what I would have expected. Okay, so A equals 2. Minus 2 modulo 2 is 2. Sorry, minus 2 modulo 4 is 2. B is 2. C needs to be 0. D needs to be 3. Why can I not use minus 1? Oh, because it's already... It's the same, by coincidence. Right, now let's see if I made any mistakes. Apparently not. Where do we go? We are sending this to C. Wonderful. Now, where in the wild green yonder is the final dial going to be? I wonder if it's just lying about in a more obvious place. I wonder if that was one that was supposed to be easy. I don't know what I just did. Oh. Okay. Could I have that, please? Oh, I think I see. I think I need the other platform in that position so I can walk up the stairs. Right. So in theory, I should be able to just grab that. Nope. Can I grab it from here? Yes. Indeed. Oh. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, what's it called? It's a, I feel like there's a more specific name than slot machine, isn't there? A one-armed bandit, isn't it? It's a one-armed bandit. Is that my combination? I'll write it down anyway. Big money, yes. I'll tell you what, I would have been even more surprised if it had just given me literally a big payout, if money had just started pouring out of somewhere. Right, I've got that recorded. Now I want to see if it changes every time I do it. Oh, it does. What a pain. Oh, okay. Presumably that's what I wanted. Clearly, Professor Maythorn has a sense of humour. I've got to say, I do think that second rotating wall puzzle, as opposed to the one we did up top, is probably my favourite puzzle in the game so far. It looked so complicated at first, but it has such a simple, elegant solution. Time for the Fallout Vault, indeed. So, what do we have now? Oh, it's the tower again. I'm back at the start. That seems unproductive. I mean, it does mean I have a way back. Because, of course, I needed Commander's help to... get to that location the first time. Is it the case that I was supposed to collect another piece? Another one of those puzzle pieces for the device in the centre of the large cavern that I've forgotten the proper name for. Oh. I mean, I suppose I could just make my way back down, but I don't see why anything would be different. I can't get in here again, so it's not like I can go back to the surface and see if anything's changed. I may have solved all those oh. Well, that answers my question from much earlier on. Why do we need a device to call the lift? This is why, because we come back round from the other side. For a second there I was thinking, is there going to be another one of those puzzle pieces on top of the lift? So the only thing that prevents you from getting it earlier in the game is that you couldn't have been in a position such that you're on top of it. But alas not. Yes, in there is where I meant. My map's useless now, isn't it? I don't actually get to see where I am and therefore the names of places. Yes. How many letters do we have? There's still one letter to go. I mean, there's at least one more piece to go in there, isn't there? I assume that's what we're looking for. Surely it must have been back where we were, and I just missed it. I don't suppose there could have been invisible writing on any of the walls, because I don't think I actually checked. Just for the sake of being thorough, I will check here to see that nothing's changed, but I'm not expecting it to have. No. Alrighty then. Oh, there was the splitting of the beam here, and I never really investigated that, did I? I remember commenting on it, but I didn't seem to get it. It didn't seem to lead to anything. Still not seeing much to do here. I suppose one thing I haven't tried, so far as I can recall, is I don't think I've removed all floors from up there and just had a look at what's on the floor. So let's try that. Oh, I was actually rather hoping that would be productive. Nothing around here. Oh, goodness gracious. That's what I missed. Well, I got there in the end. Right. Draws, the bane of existence. Well, if you're not very observant. Right. Let's see what this leads to. I'm sure it'll be interesting. Whoa, 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 whoa. What just happened? Oh, I just got smacked. That's what happened. Good thing they stopped there. Deeper underground. Definitely nothing here before I move on. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's keep going. In Discworld, there's a goddess of stuck drawers, I think. A mayor or something like it. So do you make offerings such that your doors won't be stuck? Sorry, your drawers won't be stuck, or such that she'll stick the drawers of your enemies? You like this puzzle, do you? The puzzle appeared to be honking at me. Indeed it is. Okay, so we're probably looking for 5 digits from 1 to 8. Seems like a reasonable assumption. I'm sorry? Well. That's going to require some working out. Okay. Make a copy of that in my physical notes as well. Nearly there. I'm up to 7. 8. More like people curse and pray to drawers so much that they are stuck that she spontaneously turned into existence. At least that's what my spotty memory says. Minor God. In a later book in the series, a scammer attributed her to being to be behind him finding a huge cache of money, and she became a significant god. Well, there's our digits from 1 to 8. Still no idea what this is about. Ah. Those are the same symbols we have here. Source is trying to tell me. Terry Pratchett is probably my favourite author. Can't say I've read much of his writing myself, but I have obviously heard of him. Ah, maybe there are crystal formations like that in the area that happen to be close to symbols. And so then it's just a matter of finding the matching crystal on here. Then you get this type of symbol. Sorry, finding the symbol next, matching the symbols on these central portions to this, then from this to the crystal formation, then from that to the symbol, and then from the symbol to the number. That would be my guess. Never read any of the books. I would like to read them one day though. I enjoyed the movies. Unparalleled insight into humanity, I think. Not in an academic sense, but in a down-to-earth way. Oh, here are the crystals. I see where this is going. I'm wondering if this is the puzzle that Tevra was stuck on when they played the game. Well, I can hear those noises. A deep sigh. But how do I match them to sounds? Wait, what am I actually trying to do? I can already get from the crystals to the symbols. Because I can look at the picture here and find the respective crystal down here. And from that I get to a symbol, and from that I can get to one of these. I suppose the question then is, how do I get from a sound to one of these symbols? Are these cross sections of sound waves? Probably. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start by sketching out each of these crystals in my physical notes. Then we're going to go up to the display up top, and we are going to match these to the symbols that look vaguely like a diagram of an atom or of an orbit or something along those lines. Then we're going to come back and we're going to try and figure out which sound which sound wave is associated with each one. That is based on the pictures of the sound waves as opposed to anything else. So, getting there. Right, I have a picture of all of those now. Right, that one's been recorded. So far, so good. Nearly there. Right, that's all been recorded. I like Granny Weatherwax and Sam Vines the most, plus Death Naturally. Naturally. Right, that's got quite a long period. And it fades in quite softly and fades out quite softly, so I reckon that's probably 2. That's funny. That seems to have a period of... or it seems to have 3 distinct sounds making it up. We'll come to that one last, I think. None of those particularly figure. Why does it have a break? That makes most sense as 4. Because it starts suddenly and fades out. And there's two distinct sounds in each repetition. That's 8. That could be 2, but we already had 2. I'm thinking that's probably 7 now. And the far one was 2. Probably. So what does that leave us with? That leaves us with 1, 3... 5 and 6. None of them really figure. His entire world is like built around specific crowds, and characters intersect a lot naturally, but stories generally center around a specific crowd. Logically, the only one that could be is 1, because it's got 3 distinct noises to it. But that doesn't... It doesn't sound right to me in any other respect. So this must be 4. Why won't this move? Oh. Two. 7. 8. 1. Hey! Oh, it would have even told you, presumably by the ones that opened and closed, it would have even told you which one you got right iteratively. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. This is looking like an electrical hazard. Interesting, so the insides of these pipes are just solid crystal. And really quite thick crystal. When you think about the sheer volume of crystal that must be going through these pipes throughout the compound, it's pretty staggering. Wonderful, that's exactly what I want to see. It's Tevra's favourite. Oh, this must be the professor's personal study. Very nice. It's not exactly what I was expecting to see. So deep in this compound. Is that pure crystal? What an extravagant waste. Not to put too fine a point on it.
The point came where I slipped. The idea of eternal solitude tortured me beyond imagination. It even overcame my sense of duty. It made me homesick. felt like I was suffocating. I knew that I would have to find a way to escape, but before that, I needed to do something. I wanted to reveal Quern to all worlds, to share this incredible power. At the beginning of your journey, I asked you to cooperate with me. This is the point where I require your assistance. Help me to give the worthy a chance and the opportunity to make a difference.
You would still recognize the scattered fragments of a poet. Interesting. So am I to understand that the professor's actually been gone from here a very long time? Perhaps I wasn't kidnapped. Perhaps my character stumbled across here on their own accidentally and then just found what the professor had left. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? What would the 6th and 3rd characters be? It'd be R, L, U. Yet somehow I get the impression it's not as simple as that. Is there a faster way I can cycle through them? Yes. So there's Maltorum. And that was letter 6. Letter 6. Third word, second character. Oh, am I not allowed to pick this up anymore? Okay, apparently not. Apparently it's not mine to use anymore. Oh. So it's rather given the game away, hasn't it? I don't know why I'm copying this all out. I've just realised this is just a series of letters it's telling me to look up. So it's going to make an 8-character word. But I've started, so I'll finish. This is my favourite piece of music in the game. It is quite nice, I have to admit. Very relaxing. Right. Oh, actually, it was worth copying that out, because it's going to make it... Since I have the physical notes in front of me now, it's going to make this bit a lot easier. Right, yes. What's the earliest letter? 5. 5, 3, 3. P. Oh, sorry, 5, 3, 6. I misread. A. What's next? 7. 3, 2. U. Then we have 10, I think. 2, 2. E. Next is 12. 12, 3, 3. S. Then we have 13, 1, 9. Is that N? I think it's N. Wait, 5. No, it's U. This is seeming a little unlikely. Actually, I'll tell you what, to double check, what I'll do is I'll add these words to my notes, as opposed to just trying to do it all one letter at a time. So we have 5th letter, 3rd word. Imperator. Then we have 7, 3rd word, 2nd letter. Wait, I've done that wrong. No, that is right. 3rd word, 2nd letter. Cultus. Then we have 10. 2nd word, se, 2nd letter, E. This is looking the same as I had just concluded. 3rd word, 3rd letter, R's and S. 13. 1st word, 9th letter. Grandescent, which I have no doubt I'm mispronouncing, which is U. Next is 15, 5th word, 3rd letter, Celeritus. Third letter, so L. Then it's 19. There's an achievement in this room. I think you need to do that before you leave, or just make a separate save. Omnia. second letter, so M. And finally, third word, sixth letter. So C. So that's S, A, E, C, U, L, U, M. Saculum. Just quickly double check my working. Yep, I agree with my working. Let's make another save then. Interesting. Just making a copy of this. Interesting symbols, aren't they? I reckon the professor has left, because they said in one of their letters previously that, oh, you might be a genius or you might be a fool, you might have been here hundreds of years. Well, that implies they're not still about, or they weren't expecting to be. I mean, I do get the point that they could have written the letter and then stayed down here for hundreds of years, and so from the point at which they'd written the letter, that statement is true, but since they don't appear to be, since we still haven't encountered them despite having reached their office, does make me suspect this was a long-term this was a long-term plan and they scarpered to go back home a long time ago. That one took a couple of reloads for me to trigger. Watched a guy being stuck on this puzzle for over an hour before what I assumed looking it up. He went AFK a couple of minutes and then magically found the solution as soon as he came back. Was a bit sad after coming this far. Yeah. Well, I thought really the thing that's sad about that is the degree of, if that's true, then and actually the case, and the degree of deception. I can perfectly appreciate someone being stuck on a puzzle a long time and then eventually deciding to look up the solution, especially if they're streaming at the time and therefore keeping their audience waiting. I can appreciate if their viewer count just kept going down and down and down, they may have got more and more stressed. But, you know, why not own it if that's the case? Why not, you know, I've been stuck on this a very long time. To keep things going, I'm going to look up the solution. I looked up the solution to the previous sound one, the only time I did it. Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you're playing just for yourself, like, do whatever gets you the most enjoyment, obviously. And if a particular puzzle is just not enjoyable, well, I don't see there being anything at all wrong with looking up the solution. Right, what am I doing here? In my opinion, my humble opinion. Yeah, nothing wrong with looking up a solution if you're stuck. If you're not having fun, why play it? Exactly. Is it this? Yes. How do I submit? Wonderful. Now what? This presumably combined with... What am I combining this with? This? No. That's got a piece coming off there that I don't need. What am I combining this with? This, perhaps? No. What? Oh, this. Of course. I don't know why that took me so long to see. Now what are we looking for? This one, I think? No. Hold on, I just want to check my... Yeah, that is right. Check the way I drew it. I generally hate sound puzzles. The earlier ones I found fine, but the last one was so awful. I figured out the shapes were sound waves, but all sounded so much the same that it wasn't fun. Yeah, I do appreciate that. I think I was quite lucky to get it first attempt, but I really do appreciate that that's not a very accessible puzzle. Would have been nice if they'd provided an alternate way to solve it, or a way to circumvent it. think this is part of the solution. Yes. Is this the other part? No. Is this the other part? I think it might be. Oh, I need a third part. Up on the surface with the bottles, that was fine. That's about the height of difficulty I have with sound. I had more problems with the bottles. Not in this game, but in others, where there's a randomized Simon Says but with sounds. There's an automatic end for me, I just cannot do it. Oh dear. That does sound very frustrating. I think, is that the, no, that's not the last bit. What's the last bit? Is it this? Yes. Yes, got there in the end. I don't know why this is taking me so long. Apparently I'm not very good with these shapes for some reason. Can't be that one. This one, possibly. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, I'm 90% certain that's right. Yep. Seems to be. I assume that means I got it correct. I assume it's not going to make me enter the mole and then tell me if I got it right or wrong. That would be a bit frustrating. Right, what's the next one? Double check my drawing. Yep, that's more or less what I had. Wait, triple check. Right, I see. Yes, that makes sense. Right, what's it gonna be? Not quite sure why I'm doing this, incidentally. It just seems to be another puzzle in the room, so why wouldn't I? Is that it? Yes, that's it. Right, what do we have next? Gonna double check the shape I've got again. Yeah. Slightly unusual one. Yep, pretty sure that's right. So far so good. Gonna check again. Yep. Nope, I've made a mistake. Oh good, I can go back. Oh, that must have been the mistake then. Is that what I actually wanted? Getting closer. And then that. I take that out. Yeah, we lose a... Wait. That is what we want. Yes, this is what we want. Good. No, that's not quite what I meant. Oh, it can't be that one actually. Could it be these two? Plus one more, maybe. Need a line there and a line there. Is that it? No. Close, but not quite. So we have a line there, a line there, a line there, little triangle, big right angle triangle. So, line there, line there, line there. Little triangle, big right angle triangle. Yep, I think that's it. Hey!
So, he led you into his library. I have to admit it is truly beautiful. Sadly, it is as fake as he is. Maythorn, the archaeologist, the
Sounds
friend,
jealous.
the enemy, the savior, the wicked. It's all the same to me. It's all just the facade of a broken man whose hunger for proving himself could never be satisfied. I can only hope that by now you see this too. Yes, I think you're ready.
So am I not supposed to leave this room yet? Oh, I see. That's what that does. Although I was not able to fix the ancient gateway, I managed to Not seeing anything else I can interact with. Oh, and I don't have the UV torch anymore, so I can't examine anything that way. Hello. Hey! I've carried that in my inventory for goodness knows how long. The backstage. I wonder if this was a kickstarted game and these were their biggest backers. Can't think of another way to explain that. Hello, Pengy. Welcome back. Okay. So I wonder if this is all supposed to represent the planning for all the puzzles he put in place. Or if this is actually information I need going forwards. I think probably the former, but you never know. I just realised, presumably he made all his own paper. And ink. I think it was something like that, yeah. That would be in reference to the backers. I would guess then I'm probably very, very close to the end of the game. Right, this seems to be the only thing I can interact with. Does this require an item? Speaking of which, I seem to be running perilously low on items. Right, what am I missing here? Maybe there was a puzzle up here that I missed. This thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this seems to be the plan for everything that needs to be done, and those are all the puzzle pieces I acquired. Put them in here. Oh, that's what I was missing. It was a lever. Which is very slow moving.
Although I wasn't able to fix the ancient gateway, I managed to build a less sophisticated one. I was not able to specify the target world of this new one-way portal, but I'm sure that it is capable of providing a safe journey. This is where I left this world, and I want you to follow me. But before I grant you the opportunity to do so, you must do something that even I was not able to accomplish.
Yes?
I need you to open Quern. For everyone.
This world is out of time, out of balance. Even its very existence is a great risk. Its power is unnatural, unbearable.
Right, what actually is the power?
If you help him, more will come to use this power selfishly. Each of them will grow and destroy.
Are you referring to the
He will
time
unchain this destructive curse and let
peculiarities?
it rumble through worlds without any boundaries.
Or the
This
crystals?
force, uncontained, will be the end of countless civilizations, just as it was the end of mine. You must destroy the gateway and seal Quern forever.
Because none of that
No one
explains
else
why
should
you're a
ever
glowing
find
ball
this
of
place
energy.
again. You must do this for all mankind.
Uh-huh. Another thing she may not have considered is that those gateways that connect up the world chain, there's no reason to believe they will last forever, although they seem to have lasted very well so far. There will be no way to repair them. Apparently no way from those worlds to get outside of the world chain. If this world is the origin point from the civilization that built the gateways came from, it might also be the only possible way to get a fuller understanding of the universe and potentially ensure a longer future for all the peoples of that universe. Otherwise they might just be trapped on worlds that will eventually be cut off one by one, and then that's it, which may not have to be the case. So there's a lot. It's a lot more complicated than Gamana is trying to indicate. Alright, what do we have here other than obviously a key? Gateway bridge key. I suppose this key will open the gateway bridge. Oh, here. Oh, I see. Right. How am I supposed to open Quern, though? Oh, along here, presumably. Ah. Also, if Maythorn had the means to open up Quern, why didn't he? What was the rationale there? Okay.
I prepared everything to be able to connect the ancient gateway of Quern to the world chain. I designed all the machinery and I programmed the whole procedure. The only thing I needed was calculations. Complex calculations I was not able to do myself.
With infinite time?
I invented this machine to think. Think when the capabilities of the mind are no longer enough. The only task ahead of me was to wait. And that was exactly what I was incapable of doing. I knew that the calculations could take centuries to finish. I was tired. I couldn't resist the calling of the portal I built. I wanted to live again. I left my life's work behind.
Interesting. Calculations completed. Because it is worth bearing in mind that I could have arrived minutes after he left, and this may not have worked at all. Then again, they do say time works differently. I suppose if I had arrived 1 millisecond after he did, then infinite time would have passed in Quern, which raises certain questions which we don't have answers to.
I couldn't fulfill my destiny. I need you to finish what I started. I need you to become what I could not become. The one who leads all of the worlds to a new era. The era of enlightenment.
I must say, for all of Gamana's warnings and all that, I don't think she's ever really given us a... I don't think she's ever given us... I don't think she's ever made a really convincing case for her argument. And as I've said, there are good reasons why this knowledge in this universe should be made available to the people of that universe. So I think you just have to risk it. Oh, it's a punch card based computer. How quaint. Let's hope there weren't any bugs in his program, because if he couldn't stay to wait for the results, then he couldn't have verified them. I mean, I'm sure he did some...
The time has come. The repair card will need a mineral sample to be able to reconstruct the missing elements of the ancient gateway. You must insert the green crystal.
Oh, hello there.
This is our time. If you insert the red crystal, the ancient gateway should overload and break down. This is the only way to contain this power. This is the only way to restore balance.
Add the green crystal sample.
She to me
Insert
sounds like
the
the
red
standard.
crystal.
New tech is bad, but information is immortal and
Connect the
permanent.
gateway
If
to
it's
the
science,
chain.
it will come back somewhere by someone
Destroy
else
it.
at some point in time.
Do it.
Even the way you...
Do it.
Wait, he bothered to record himself saying "do it" in a stern voice.
Time shall be given to those who are in need.
How much of this recording did he make?
Seal Quernaluk.
Yeah, even the way
Let
that
all of the worlds know of Quern.
even the
Seal
way
it
you
for
put
good.
it, Tevra, I find more convincing.
Let this blessing help civilizations rise.
If Quern is magic, then she could be
Hide
right.
Quernaluk
If Quern is
forever.
magic, then if you seal it off from the rest of the universe, then there may be things that are forever lost. Which is a big risk to take. I think you just have to have... I think you have to do what is essentially the right thing, make it available, and just have faith. Oh, that wasn't what was expected. Choose carefully, but if you're wrong, all is lost. No pressure. Well, to be fair, if this does end up being a disaster, then that's just as much on other people's hands as my own. Oh, that's what I was missing. Incidentally, if she's so powerful, why didn't she vaporize me? Perhaps when she turned into a ball of energy, she lost her ability... No, she can't have lost her ability to manipulate the physical world. Because she made that bridge for me.
How could this be? What did I do wrong?
It's very notable that she,
You even know
therefore...
what you've just done.
She must have had the ability to physically stop me, but didn't.
You've ruined everything. You have unleashed it. You have freed this curse from its prison. Countless worlds will be destroyed, just like mine.
You assume.
All because of you. I hope you are prepared to live with this burden.
I'm prepared to
How
take the
could I have
chance.
trusted you? I have failed. Once again. Now leave. And watch your civilization fall apart.
To be perfectly honest, if this were real, I probably wouldn't leave. I feel like I have to leave for the game to reach a conclusion, but I think I'd be perfectly happy staying here for a few centuries, getting things done.
Congratulations. You have earned yourself a place amongst the greatest in history.
Oh, you bothered to record this as well.
You have gifted this great power to all. Many will come and learn. You gave them the opportunity to shine and make their worlds a better place.
Did you also record
Thanks to
a
our
terrible
efforts,
scolding if I chose the
Quern
other
will
option
soon
by any
become
chance?
A beacon of knowledge, the epicenter of wisdom and intellect.
Wait, with all this automation, why did you need me? Why didn't you just set it up so that when the computer's finished, the notes are just automatically transferred from here to here? And don't tell me you couldn't do that with all the things we've seen so far, and then you just left the green crystal in here ready. I feel like my presence here was completely unnecessary. And you went about your little plan in a very convoluted way.
Now it is time for you to join
My
me.
dear Professor.
Step into the portal.
Are you using logic in a video game? Well, to be fair, I have been asked to use quite a lot of logic in this particular video game so far.
I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. It will be an honor.
You could be long since dead. Not to put too fine a point on it. Well, how was that for everybody? Well, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Right. I assume that's it. I assume nothing else happens after this point, so we may as well wrap up the stream. So I'll be streaming again on Friday. I don't know what I'll be playing. I had been looking at a game called The Witness, which looked to be another very well received puzzle game. I haven't actually set it up yet, so of course, you know, technical problems could prevent that in theory, but that's what I was looking at. Oh, that was fun. Like Quern. That was wonderful, thank you. You're very welcome. Thanks for streaming. I enjoyed, though the plot was not really a selling point. Interesting. Ooh, Witness is really fun. Have you seen it? I've seen the... I think I saw the trailer. I've seen the trailer, and I've seen online that it's very well regarded. But beyond that, I don't know anything. Your logic is a bright and clear... Your logic is a bright and clear as sun on new fallen snow, blinding. Oh, thank you very much. That's very, very complimentary. More complimentary than I deserve, I think. It's a bit different, but definitely one of my favourites. Okay. So, yes. That's what I'm considering for Friday. Contrary to what I said last stream, I will not be streaming this Saturday. That is Saturday the 6th of May, because it's coronation weekend and it looks like I'll be going to see my grandparents, so I won't be here. But as far as I'm aware, this is a one-off and subsequent Saturday streams will be going ahead. So yeah, next stream Friday, not Saturday. Then there's Monday. Monday will be the stream after that. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Pengy. Should that change at all, then I'll announce it on Twitter. And yeah, I hope you all had a good time. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and good night.